Hey guys, it's Nikki. I feel like it's been so long since I've done an actual sit down talking video, but hey, how are you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are all staying safe and healthy and staying home. That is the number one important thing. If you're going to watch this video, that is the number one thing I say is stay home, stay healthy, and have fun. Try to have as much fun as you can. Start a new project, clean your house, do some spring cleansing, get rid of stuff, maybe redecorate, just start something new. I feel like you can't go wrong with doing a new project. Don't be fooled, I might look super put together. I wanted to put myself together for this video, and also too, I do have to run some errands, and by errands, I mean I need to go to the grocery store. So did I get dressed up to go to the grocery store? Yes. That is literally, if I leave my apartment, it's to the grocery store or to work because I work at a hospital. But the grocery store is a necessity. Oh my God, I can't talk. A necessity right now because I'm getting bare bones with groceries and I need to go super bad. So I might look put together, but don't be fooled. I have on leggings. But in today's video, I wanted to answer with you guys my FAQs, or frequently asked questions, that I have been getting over the last couple of months in my DMs, or also from friends and family about working as a CNA. Obviously, I uploaded my day in the life as a CNA video, which actually went really well, and that is up on my channel. I uploaded it, I think, about 6 or 7 months ago, so you guys should definitely go check that out. I will link it down below, or I will link it in a card somewhere. That way you guys can watch that if you're interested to kind of see what my morning routine is. And then I also do talk about kind of what my day consists of. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over all of that for you guys and just answering questions that I have gotten and talking about them. So let's go ahead and get into the video. If you guys have any questions at all about anything I talk about in this video or anything in general, I do want to do a Q&A in general about me, so not just a specific topic. But if you guys have any questions for me or about anything, you guys can always leave those down below, or you can always send me a message on my Instagram. I have actually 3 Instagram pages now, so I'll talk about that at the end of the video. But you guys can message me on any of my Instagrams. You guys can message me on my Twitter or DM me or anything like that. So if you have any questions, just leave them down below or send them to me on my socials. And let's go ahead and get into all of the questions that I've been asked. So I've kind of written them all down and studied them, so here we go. The first question I think I get asked all the time is, why do you only work 8 hours? And why is that the most you'll work in a day? So on my day in the life video, that is something that I've gotten comments about the most. And it's about when I mentioned how I only work an 8-hour shift. I work 5 days a week. So obviously I'm working 40 hours a week, 8 hours a day, but the most I work is 8 hours. So the reason why I only work 8 hours is because where I work specifically is technically an outpatient clinic in the hospital. So with it being technically outpatient, we are open 24 hours, but we only take patients during certain times. And then when it gets to be the overnight is strictly just for emergencies. So if a patient has to have an emergency infusion or anything like that, or if they're ill, they're having a reaction to their treatment. So that is how that is set up. We do have day and night CNAs, but we don't have overnight CNAs. So if the night CNA were to work, they would only work till 10 o'clock at night and they would go home. So we don't have any CNAs that stay overnight. We do have night nurses, but we don't have any night CNAs because there's just nothing to do for CNA duties, because we don't schedule patients overnight unless it's an emergency call that one's coming in. Obviously, my workload is going to be a little bit different than somebody on an inpatient floor. So yes, that is why I only work 8 hours, is because I'm in an outpatient clinic, and the times that we have set that we take patients is obviously we only take patients between like certain times in a day, and then that's it. So my workload is going to be a lot different than somebody on inpatient, because I don't obviously have to do that. I don't have to do bathing. I don't have to do turning. I don't have to do bed baths. I don't have to change the linens in the morning, because we change a lot of our rooms. Only a few of them have beds, and then the rest of them are just like recliner chairs. So obviously we clean them in between patients, or we change the linens and then dress the linens. But other than that, it's pretty simple to do. So we don't have to do a ton, I guess, of like the hard, dirty work that some of the other CNAs have to do on inpatient. Another question I get asked a lot is, are you going to make a career out of being a CNA? And no, I'm not going to make it my forever career. I'm working as a CNA, one, to get my foot in the door and to get experience, because I am starting school for respiratory therapy in August of 2020. Cross my fingers. Everything is still on track for that. I'm still set to do in-person classes. I haven't been told otherwise yet. So as of right now, my program is supposed to be starting like normal. So cross my fingers that will all be okay. But no, so it's not going to be my full-time career. It will be my job that I do, obviously, until I am done with school, and then I move up into the career that I have my degree in. But as of right now, it's just a job to gain experience, but also to gain that patient experience as well, and that patient care experience. I definitely recommend that if you are interested in healthcare or anything related in the medical field, that you do get a CNA or a CMA or some type of job within that healthcare field, or something in healthcare or medically related that is going to help you gain experience as well as connections, because that is going to help you so much in the long run when it comes to interviews or anything to do with recommendations, evaluations, and everything. So I definitely recommend getting a job in healthcare. Obviously, I'm a CNA, so I'm a certified nursing assistant, or you can get your CMA, which is a certified medical assistant. Usually with CMAs, you can actually distribute medications, and I don't know, like, obviously the full detail of it because I didn't take that course, but I know that with that you are able to distribute medication. So they do a lot more medication-wise than we do, obviously, because CNAs, we're not supposed to apply anything medicated or deal with anything medication-wise. I don't plan on it obviously being my future, but I think it is a great starter point when building those connections, and also to building up where you want to go. So this is a question I have been getting a ton from friends and family, and it's, what is like my opinion on the COVID-19 pandemic? What do I think about it? Like, what is my medical opinion of it? Obviously, since I work in a hospital and I work in healthcare, obviously it's something that I think erupted really, really fast. It's something that just nobody was expecting it to happen, and here we are, and unfortunately it has caused just so much sadness and pain in this world. And I know there's people out there that are filing for unemployment. My own boyfriend, he has to file for unemployment, or he already did, because his job is shut down currently due to the virus. Obviously, I work in a hospital, so I have to follow my hospital policies on everything there. But what I can say, the biggest thing is, I think what has been said already to everyone, is use proper hand hygiene. Don't go anywhere. I live in Nebraska. We have a stay-at-home order placed. We don't have a curfew. I know that a lot of places have a stay-at-home order, plus they have a curfew placed, meaning that at a certain time you can't be out and about unless you're going to like the grocery store, coming home from work, or going to the pharmacy. So we don't have a curfew. I'm hoping it doesn't have to get to that point, but we do have a stay-at-home order. So pretty much everything is closed besides grocery stores, hospitals, and if there is a restaurant open, they're doing to-go orders or curbside pickup. So really, there's nothing to do. That's the whole point of a stay-at-home order, unless it's essentials. So obviously, grocery stores, you need to get food and supplies. That's essential. Hospitals and doctors' offices, if it's an emergency, those are essential. Pharmacies, so the essentials, that are needed to survive are obviously going to be open. But as far as, you know, like restaurants, bars, and everything like that, those are all shut down. Well, they're not shut down, but a lot of them are doing to-go orders. Unfortunately, there are some where they can't be open right now, so that kind of sucks, especially when it comes to smaller businesses. I do recommend that if there is a smaller business in your town or your city that is doing either like to-go orders or curbside or whatever, do what you can to support them, because smaller businesses obviously are taking the hit so much harder than a huge organization. So definitely support your smaller businesses because they really need it right now, and I'm sure that this was not in their plan of 2020 at all. But I can definitely say do your best to stay safe and healthy. Don't go anywhere if you don't have to. Like, if you absolutely need to go to the grocery store, like me, I am bare bones. I am pretty much out of all my food and I need to go so badly. So I'm going to go today, but I definitely recommend that if you don't have to go anywhere, don't go anywhere. I mean, there's nowhere to go anyways, but stay home, stay healthy, and also to wash your hands. I think that is the most important thing from this whole situation is wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. You're out in public, I understand it's hard. I'm doing it right now. I'm touching my hair and everything. Don't touch your hair, don't touch your face, don't like touch something and then like rub your nose. Like, just don't touch yourself. Don't touch anywhere on your body. Like, leave yourself alone. Especially if you're in a public area, if you have the opportunity to wash hands, do it. If you don't, use hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer is not obviously as effective, but it's better than doing nothing. So especially if you're checking out or if you're leaving after touching the cart, just throw on some hand sanitizer real quick when you get in the car or after you check out. You know, you use your card or you use cash, just use hand sanitizer or something so that way you have that protective layer on there, so that way it does kind of get rid of any bacteria. Then obviously when you get home or you have an availability to a sink and soap, wash your hands for at least 20 seconds, use proper hand hygiene, and also to make sure you get in between the fingers and under the nails. That's going to be super important too, because in that way it's getting every surface of your hand and not just like, you know, your palms. So you want to wash your full hands for at least 20 seconds. Another question I get from a lot of people, I've gotten from this from a lot of people that graduated like a year or two after me, and they're looking into healthcare, so they're getting their CNA right now. And they asked me, is it hard to be getting, or is it hard to get your CNA, and are the classes hard? Personally, I did not think that the CNA course was super difficult at all. I think the most important thing, and I did this when I filmed my top tips and tricks video to become a CNA. I mentioned this a lot, but do your homework and also to study for the quizzes, obviously. Do your homework, study for your tests, practice with people, watch videos, especially when it comes to your hands-on exams and your clinical and everything. Watch videos also too, that helps a lot. But your homework is a huge portion in your grading process. It also is a huge study tool for your tests. Everything your homework is over is literally straight from the book. So I'm going to be super honest when I say it's so hard to do bad on the homework, because the answer is literally worded and the question is worded exactly how it is from the book. At least that's how it was in my CNA class. So I definitely recommend to do your homework. Also too, if you have questions, don't be afraid to ask, because your instructors are nurses and a lot of them started off as CNAs as well. So they get it. They've been through it. They also teach this and they help people get that step ahead in the healthcare field. So ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And obviously pay attention a lot during demonstrations when they demonstrate the hands-on. We worked with mannequins, fake people, during our hands-on portion of the class. And then obviously clinical, we shadowed a CNA and worked with a CNA and worked with real people. But definitely just pay attention and do your homework. I can't say that enough, but that is my biggest word of advice if you want to do well, especially on your tests and your boards. So you take two parts of your boards. You take your oral test, which is like your written test, and then you take the hands-on test, which you get like 5 skills. Ours was we showed up and we checked in, and you're one-on-one with basically a instructor that basically certifies you, and they have a row of packets on the table, and you pick a packet and you get like 5 minutes to look over it, and those are your 5 skills that you're going to be testing on. So just study, pay attention, practice a lot, and honestly, when it gets to be towards the end, closer to your boards, you do so many mock board tests, so that way you can practice picking out randomly 5 skills. You can practice learning all of that. Plus, what's also nice too is usually if you get a bucket, so like one of my skills was doing a bed bath that I picked. It was in my packet. When you pick up the bin for bed bath, it has all of your supplies in it. So what you do is you lay it all out on a table, you go through your steps, and if you feel like you forgot anything, look at your table and look at your supplies. And if there's something you haven't used yet, you can go back and say, oh, and I would use this before doing this step, and usually that would count because you said it. At least that's how it was on my test. So don't be nervous, don't be scared, you'll be fine. Just pay attention and do your work. Last and final question that I get is, do I work in a hospital or do I work in like a residential home or a long-term care facility? Like, where do I work? I work in a hospital and I work with cancer patients. So I work in the oncology portion of the hospital. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you what hospital, but I do work in a hospital. Personally, I think that if you are wanting to end up at a hospital as your future career, and I think that if you are wanting to ultimately work at a hospital for basically your whole life of that career, I would recommend getting a CNA job at a hospital, because not only are you going to learn those policies and procedures of a hospital, but you're going to have that hospital you are going to have that hospital patient care experience, and you're going to obviously have family experience with family members and friends being at the hospital, and visiting that patient while you're taking care of them. So you're going to have lots of hospital experience. You're going to be working with all kinds of people, with nurses, respiratory therapists, physicians, doctors, radiology technicians, pulmonologists. Like, you're working with all types of people. I definitely recommend that if you ultimately want to be in a hospital setting, to start off in a hospital, because that's going to help you a lot with experience-wise, and also too, it's going to help you build up different connections. But a lot of people do start off in nursing homes, residential homes, as well as long-term care facilities, rehab centers. I don't think that that's a bad place to start off at all either. Honestly, if I wasn't sure about where I wanted to go in my future career as a respiratory therapist, if I wasn't sure about wanting to be in a hospital or wanting to be in more of like a clinic or like a residential area, then I would probably end up working at either a long-term care facility or a residential home or a nursing home or a rehab center or something like that. But I knew that I wanted to be, I would love to work at the hospital as a respiratory therapist that I work at now. So that's why I chose to get a job as a CNA in the hospital. And technically at my hospital, I'm a patient care technician, which is a CNA, but that's just the job title name that they have at that hospital. So it's the exact same thing, and we're just called patient care techs. But so that's where I work, and obviously you can work wherever you want. You can work wherever you feel is the right fit for you. I just felt like being in a hospital setting was the right fit for me, because ultimately that's where I want to be anyways. So I figured getting that experience now and learning about the hospital and learning about their procedures and policies and everything, that's going to help me a lot for the future. And it's going to help me a lot with my hospital clinical, because whenever I do have my clinicals and start those for my program, obviously that's going to be a lot easier for me to be in that setting because that's what I'm comfortable with. So that just was the better fit for me. Obviously, you pick the better fit for you, but I work in a hospital and that's just where I chose to start out. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys have any more questions for me, like I said, leave them down below or message me on any of my socials. And you guys will obviously be seeing this video of me talking about it because I'm gonna make an entire video about it. You're gonna see this one first though, but in my description box you're gonna see that I have a third Instagram. I have two now. I have my personal page. I also have my makeup Instagram. So my personal page is basically anything personal life related and like fashion and stuff and just me. That is strictly all about me. And my second page is all about makeup and beauty, and it's beauty and makeup related. My third page, which is going to be my last page I have, is my new page, and it's called I am messing it up already. It's called Get Fit with Nick. I will leave it down in the description box, that way you guys can see it, but that is my fitness Instagram page. Anything this quarantine has taught me is that I want to make a fitness Instagram because I am, one, super inspired by people that have fitness content, but I love working out and I love nutrition and I love being healthy and being the happiest and healthiest that I can be mentally and physically. So I decided to make an Instagram page to talk about that and to show that. And I'm also showing at-home workouts on there that I have been doing, so you guys should totally check that out. I would very much appreciate it. It'd be down in the description box, and if you guys would follow it, that would be great too. So it's gonna be down there, and I'm gonna make a video on it, or I'm gonna talk about it because I think I'm gonna vlog this next week. So I'm either gonna make a video on it or that's gonna be the main part of the vlog. So lots of videos coming. I'm super excited about it. Obviously 2020 is not what we all expected, but keep positive about it because I guarantee you that once this all is over and everything gets back to normal, I have a feeling that everyone will just be grateful for the experiences that we've had and thankful that we have the orders put to place and grateful that we have the healthcare that we do that's willing and trying their hardest to help as much as they can. So trust me, I know it sucks. I know this is not what anyone was expecting, but be positive because it is all going to be better in the later. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Also to subscribe for new videos down below and turn on that bell, that way you're notified when I upload a new video. Also too, don't forget to follow my socials, always down in the down bar, so you guys can look me up, follow me, connect with me, message me, you know. But I hope you guys have a good day or night wherever you live, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.